Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today uh, we are going to start our second practical of the course code CS102 Introduction to Computer Fundamentals. The second practical's title is Installation of an Operating System. So we are going to discuss how to install a Windows 7. Now the first question arises, what is an operating system? Operating system is an application software, is a system software. There are two types of software basically we have, system software and application software. System software comprises of those software which are necessary for the computer or device to run it smoothly so that the user is able to perform its functions on it. So Windows Microsoft operating system is an system software that is used to make the device workable form so that the user is able to install some sort of an application software and perform its tasks. So the task we are going to discuss is how to install the Windows 7. First of all, we have to go to the system BIOS. Now what is the system BIOS? System BIOS controls all the necessary information regarding your computer's initial state, starting state. On BIOS menu, open BIOS menu with the help of a function key or del key depending upon the computer's main board to enter in the BIOS setting. Many computers have different BIOS keys and settings to go into it. Basically, as soon as our computer is getting started, you have to press the escape key, and then with the escape key you can see different options out there in the black screen. BIOS settings you can go, or sometimes the main function settings, and inside the main function settings you can go to the BIOS settings. BIOS basically means basic input output system. So here you will go after that BIOS settings, you will have an option of that boot device priority or boot menu. From here you have to choose first boot device as the CD-ROM drive if you are installing the Windows or operating system from a CD-ROM or DVD-ROM drive. But if on the other hand side, if you are installing it from a removable media just like a USB drive or a portable hard disk, for that you have to choose that removable drive. Instructions are mentioned over there. With up, down and left, right arrow keys we can change the boot device priorities, and then after that, when we have selected the desired priority, when we can hit the enter button, and then our device has been changed. After that you should save and exit, and then your computer is going to restart it. As soon as the computer is restarted, there we go, and here we see that Windows is loading files, that Windows operating system is about to start. The very first step is the language selection on Microsoft Windows 7 installation. The time and currency format example and the basic keyboard input method. Then we have to click next. After this, there comes the button of the installation. We have to press this button to start the installation of Windows. Now there it depends upon the list of operating systems that we are going to install it. Windows 7 Ultimate is mentioned over here. If you have a genuine Windows or multiple options in your bootable device, then you will have a list of operating systems out there like Windows 7 Home Basic, Windows 7 Professional, uh, and Windows 7 Ultimate, all with the versions of x86 and x64 architecture. Now what is the difference between an x86 and x64? x86 is basically the 32-bit architecture of the system. You need to know about that, whether your computer is 32-bit architecture system or 64-bit architecture system, and then you choose the desired architecture system, and after that you have to click the next button. When you click the next button, there you go as the install Windows licensing terms, Microsoft licensing terms. So here you have to accept all the licensing terms and then click on the next buttons. After that, there are two types of installations comes in. The very first is the upgrade version. Upgrade version basically replaces the current version of whatever Windows you have installed in your PC with the Windows 7. And it will keep all of your files and data in as intact. It will not be removing any of your files or data from your computer program. You can also click on the upgrade button if you are upgrading it from Windows XP to Windows 7, or if you are going from Windows 7 to Windows 8, 8.1 or Windows 10. All of these options in Windows installation systems have this option, basic option of upgrade. Whereas the second option is the custom advanced option. In this option, we have to install a new copy of Windows. This option does not keep the file settings and programs. Make changes to disk partitions is available, that we are able to change our disk partition size. For example, if we are having a one partition of 200 GBs, we can make the partitions here as well, that we can divide our 200 GB of hard disk space into 50 GB of 4 hard drive space or 100 GB of 2 hard drive space. It depends upon our usage and our own necessity. So it is sometimes referred to as the clean installation of the reason. Now, where to install Windows? Now here we can see in the image shown is that this device drive has a total space of 64 GB. Now 64 GB and only one single drive. So we have to click on the drive options of advanced. Click on the drive options advanced, and in the drive options advanced we have multiple options. And the very first one is whether we want to partition this drive into several more partitions. For example, if I say that I divide this 64 GB into 20 GB and 40 GB of hard disk space, there we have the option of how out there. And the other thing that we have is we want to format the disk drive. All these options come under the drive device options. The next after that, as we have clicked it, then the setup is starting the copying files, expanding the Windows file, installing the features and installing updates. And the last one is the completing installation and finalizing. After that, everything has been installed and no error has been occurred in our Windows setup. Then this screen comes up, setup of Windows. Here we have to type a username, for example, whoever is using the computer name. It is not necessary, but it is a good practice to write it down and type a computer name whatever we want to, and click on the next key. Then here is the key about the password. If you want to save your computer's data or Windows, or want to make a password for your Windows, so there is the option that type a password and choose a domain, type a username. If you don't want to create a password at this moment for your Windows, so you just click on the next button and skip this bit. Here comes the product key option. That product key is mentioned similarly on our DVD CDs, or we can find it on the internet as well. And genuine, if you want, there are genuine Windows as well, in that you don't need to put the product key here. It will automatically activate your Windows and it doesn't not need to enter the product key. Now, how to protect our computer? We have to choose the protection settings, and this will also have on the effect the microcomputer's Windows update. Use recommended settings in this option. Install the important and recommended updates. Help make internet browsers safer. Check online for solutions, and different options are there. You can also choose install important updates only, or you can also choose the ask me later option, that you will have decided when the Windows has been turned on. So it's all depends upon you. After that, the date and time settings comes out, that you have to set the date and time of your along with your country, zone, and whatever the date and current time is being going on. Now the network type, then you have to choose if you are connected to a Wi-Fi network, or you have to connect it through a LAN cable, RJ45 connector. There you can choose the internet network out there, and then in that you have three options of that is a public network, whether a work network or a home network. Home network is basically you can participate in home group and see other network computers on side a network. Now here, dear students, that the Windows will finalize and the settings of your desktop will appear. This is a Windows installation of Windows 7 operating system. In the real class, I am going to show you about the further features of the Windows 7 operating system. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. If you have any queries, you can ask me freely in the main lecture class.